everybody, welcome to the House of Valentina. I am so excited that you decided to stop by today because I want to give you a full home tour. The house is decked out for fall and it feels so amazing in here. It's cozy, it's luxe feeling, and it's drenched in this incredible scent of the forest. It really feels so enchanting right now, and yet somehow still just so luxe, and I absolutely love it. The best part about all of it is that we have done this on a budget. So today I'll be sharing with you a full fall home tour, but I'll also be including tips and tricks along the way. So make sure you hit subscribe and let's jump into this fall tour. Welcome to my dining room. I had this crazy notion. I originally, when I moved into this house, it was my intention from the beginning to use this room as an office. And I did for a little while. And I still have a little desk kind of tucked over here to the side. But one of the things that I really love, I come from a really big Greek family and we love to entertain. We love to sit and have really nice dinners together as a family. And I just realized that I did not have enough seating in my house. You'll see how small the breakfast room is. It's not big. And when we're all in the house together, it is tight trying to get everybody at a table. So I decided to do something a little bit crazy and actually change the entire design of this room. So as a designer, what I like to do is create an evergreen design for the space. So things like the rug. I want to make sure that I've given myself a rug that's going to stand through all the seasons. I love building a room from the bottom up. So on top of that goes the table and chairs. And in here, I put this gorgeous black table, black on black. Yep, walls are basically black, table's black, but we've broken that up with the rug, of course, and these beautiful, beautiful rounded chairs. I love the way that this brings a really modern punch into the room, especially when you think about all the trim work that's in here and how traditional the room actually is. It really helps break up the theme. The other things that really set the room apart are things like putting up a mirror in here that really reflects that light, adding the sconces, putting in a beautiful chandelier. It really just gives the room this beautiful ambient feeling. So when we hit the fall season, I'm gonna get all excited. I gotta set my cup down here for a minute. When we get to the fall season, I love to be able to add just a little seasonal pop in here. And so easy ways of being able to do that. I brought in this gorgeous blanket. I found this one on Amazon and it's creamy. It's got a little bit of a reddish color running through it. And that was something I could easily reflect back through with this gorgeous iron tray. Again, an amazing find from Target. I absolutely love the burgundy eucalyptus. I've been able to bring in a little bit of this reddish color because the overall aesthetic of the room is very neutral. We've added in pine cones and candles. I've even taken a little bit of the eucalyptus and added it onto the table with a beautiful napkin tied with a little bit of velvet ribbon. You will see throughout the house that what I love to do is I love to include luxurious materials like the velvet pillows and a wool blanket. And then we just soften it with that natural element of the pine cones, the candlelight. And it seems like these things don't go together, but somehow they just work. Even just the beautiful little burgundy tray sitting out on the table. And look at this glassware. Look at the glassware. Look at the little bubbles in it and the smoked glass. Then we've got this one with the little fluting on it, and you really can have so much fun combining all the things that you really love. I hope that this room is just the beginning of proof that it is actually possible to create something that feels luxurious but approachable and warm. And I am looking very forward to sitting here and having lots of amazing meals. I love to cook. I love to be able to sit with my family, and we now have a space that is primed and ready for it. While we're in here, let me take just a moment and share with you one of my favorite deliveries that has just come in, and that is from our video sponsor, Grunes. Grunes is a comprehensive nutrition. So if you think about vitamins, your minerals, your greens, your supplements, basically this is everything that you would want all in a gummy, okay? So the best thing about this is that it takes all the guesswork out, because I don't know about you, But trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be taking and what combination I'm supposed to have, it's all a little bit confusing and a little bit overwhelming. On top of that, trying to keep up with all the things I'm supposed to swallow, and then the powders are sometimes really hard to get down. This is like the answer to all my problems, which is why I got interested in Grooms in the first place. I love the fact that supports gut health, energy, immunity, cognition, beauty, recovery. It's vegan, it's gluten-free. My version is even sugar-free. They also have a kids daily as well. 1 pack a day. This is amazing. It's all pre-portioned for you. Again, taking all the guesswork out. And inside of here, you've got 8 gummies. Look at that. You get 8 of these in your pack, and all the guesswork is gone. All you get to do is just chew them up and enjoy them. They actually taste like a fruit snack, so they are super yummy. They're super yummy, and if you turn that package over, you're gonna be very happy when you see everything that these are loaded with. Unlike a lot of the other brands where you're really not sure what else you're getting, this is gonna tell you these are awesome. So you've got everything from your vitamin A, B6, B12, vitamin C, the biotin, which is so good for your skin. You've also got your whole foods ingredients in here: organic alfalfa, organic kale, organic parsley. So Grooms is a convenient, comprehensive formula packed into 8 gummies a day. This isn't a multivitamin, a greens gummy, or a probiotic. It's all of those things and then some at a fraction of the price. 8 gummies are included within each daily snack pack because you can't fit the amount of nutrients they do into just 1 gummy. Generic multivitamins only contain about 7 to 9 vitamins. Grooms have 20 plus vitamins and minerals and 60 plus whole food ingredients. Grooms is a comprehensive and accurately dosed nutrition solution. If you'll use my link down below in the description box, that's gonna get you 45% off. I will have all the details linked down below, and thank you again to Grooms for being our video sponsor. All right, guys, let's head back into the kitchen and work our way around this house. Come on. Guys, we are in the kitchen now, and I absolutely live in the kitchen at this time of year. Either that or my closet. Those are like my 2 things that I love about fall, winter season. I love getting dressed. I love, wearing a leather pant and getting to wear all my blazers again. I love it. The other thing that I love is I love to be able to just have my cookbooks out, and the kitchen just gets a little bit full this time of year. Fall decor in the kitchen is all about authenticity and bringing in those items that I really, really love and things that I'm actually using. So in here, you've got this gorgeous, look at these, acorn squash. Apparently there's some sort of sweet variety. I was supposed to have roasted these the other day, and they're still just waiting for me, but I can't wait to roast those up with a little bit of like maple syrup and maybe a little bit of like 5 spice on them or cinnamon. Oh, they're going to be amazing. But the overall aesthetic of the kitchen is definitely still very modern. You can see that I've got the abstract piece that I painted up here, and it really just holds the design together because I think that it can get to feel a little bit cluttered. And so I'm always trying to be a little bit aware of like, how many things am I actually putting out? I do use my breadboards a lot. So I use these constantly. So I do have little items like this sitting out, and I think it does warm up the overall aesthetic of the kitchen because I went with a very Scandinavian feel in here because we loved living in Scandinavia. I love the modern design, but the Scandinavians are also really good at bringing in a cozy factor. And so I learned a lot while living there, and these are things that I saw them doing, and I was like, I love this. I've adopted a lot of those into my own way of life. Now, at the moment, we've got the KitchenAid sitting out. This is the one with the little studded bowl that I just freaked out over. But I've also got, Eat, Drink, Nap. I've got the Nordic baking book. We've got the espresso machine sitting out as well. And so you really just feel like it's a combination of pristine and modern and yet like cozy and warm. I have this gorgeous, gorgeous tray made out of marble, and at the moment it's loaded up with baklava because my parents were over here the other day and my mom brought me some baklava. So you'll see how I love to create these modern moments that really just help you keep that overall balance of the room. Over here, I've got more books. If you're wanting to see all of my cookbook favorites, I put them all on my Amazon storefront. So if you ever want to see what are my favorites, definitely check that out. The Nordic baking book I use all the time. Savor is amazing. The Staub cookbook is super duper good. It's got this macaroni and cheese recipe that's in here is really good. It's got amazing pumpkin soup and one pot or orecchiette, is that how you say that, with Swiss chard, sausage, and lemon. Unbelievable. But you'll also see I've got things that are practical. Like this is overflowing with garlic at the moment. I can't even close it right now because I love to cook with fresh garlic. I've got the salt sitting out in the little pots and the peppers out, but then I brought in like a sphere in here. So I've kind of balanced the elements. There's something that still feels a little bit pristine, a little bit modern, a little bit put together, and then I've mixed in some of the practical everyday items. Sometimes I'll go through a phase where I just put everything away, but you can kind of play the balance. Which one do you really like? In here, we've got the pantry loaded down on this side with all the cups and mugs and plates, and we love to come through each season, and I love to reorganize these areas of my house. And so I've taken out some of the plates and the cups and things that have a little bit more of a summery feel, and instead just really made sure that all the things that are in here are just a little bit more seasonal. So it's just things like, I got really into these little cups right now from West Elm that have like this really cool, like rustic feel to them. So I've got things like this kind of at the center point. My son has really gotten into these little spiders. If you see these spiders in today's tour, you will know it is my youngest. He keeps hiding them, like they're in the refrigerator, they're like all over the house, and I think it's hilarious. So yeah, I think going through and just kind of creating even like a seasonal entertaining stash, that's something that I really like to do. It just really gets you excited and ready for a new season. So I am loving it. Let's head over to the breakfast room and also to the sunroom, which is our family room. Come on. Okay, over here is I would say this portion of our home is most definitely the most used space of our house. This is like the calm when everyone is at school or work because normally it's chaos and the dog is running through here, and I get these little moments, right, when I'm like working from home and the house is really quiet, and I do appreciate these moments, and I'm making a quiet coffee and it's real chill. But honestly, I love the commotion of life that just piles itself onto our home. So in this space, it's actually quite tight. So I've got this is actually an IKEA table still to this day. Everyone wants to know where I got this table from. It's IKEA. I love to be able to find those pieces that really save you money. This one has really had to work hard, okay? I wanted the space to feel a little bit grander though, so I actually switched out these chairs. You may have seen it if you've watched any of my recent content, but I've switched them out pretty recently. They're from Amazon. So the ones in the dining room are from our house, and then I found these on Amazon and I was like, oh yes, this is a great, great deal. And they're on casters, so my kids love them. Everyone loves these because you can just kind of move around, and Landon is prone to like gliding across the room in them. So it's awesome. But I also want the space to feel a little bit grown up as well. And I want it to feel chic and sophisticated. So I anchored the space with this insane, this light is just absolutely breathtaking. I cannot believe that is from Amazon. A light like this would cost you about $10,000 on somewhere like RH. And this was, I mean, I had a coupon on it. I don't remember how much exactly it was, but there's usually a coupon on it, and I'll leave a link for this brand on Amazon, because if you don't need a linear one, they've got several different styles, wall sconces and other things, and it's awesome. So I'll leave a link for that because it's so nice. And even though the home itself is quite traditional, I like the juxtaposition here of being able to bring in some of these modern clean line pieces. It feels super luxe, and we sit here for hours. We'll play games, and the kids will even sit in them sometimes when we're watching a movie. They're just so comfortable that it really gave us this place to just hang out, and I just adore it. Then over here, at the moment, I've actually got this little area styled up. This is a little piece that I found at the RH outlet, so you can luck out by going to those outlet stores a lot of times. But I anchored this whole space with the modern art, and I really think that those pieces are so key to the overall feeling of the season. And if you haven't gotten that baseline ready, adding in the little tray with the pears and the little walnuts, it's only going to be able to take you so far. You really have to think about the overall aesthetic of your room. And so that's why sometimes I love seasonal. I love to be able to create seasonal content for you guys and provide those ideas for you. But if you haven't gotten the room set yet, you're kind of working against yourself. You've got to really get the baseline ready in a room and then add a little seasonal overlay on it. So I just love, oh, not another spider. I did not make that up. He put that in there since last night. That was not in there before, but we've got a little spider in here and moss, and these are a little set of bowls that I found on Wayfair and then just added the moss into them. I think the moss is really nice to leave. It really gives you that enchanted forest feeling, and it's just a little nod to it. You don't have to put fairies up and, you know, florals in order to have an enchanted forest feeling in your room. And that photo block candle just really helps the room feel just, oh, unbelievable. Let's walk into the sunroom a little bit more. So without a doubt, I absolutely love this sunroom. So it was a little bit of a challenge because it's 3 walls essentially of windows. So there's actually hardly any space on the walls to even put art. So I did one really big piece of art. I took the curtains all the way up to the ceiling because the windows are actually a little bit low in the room. And so by taking the curtains all the way up and diffusing the light just a little bit, it really helps the room feel very modern. And I love the result. It is so cozy in here. And I brought in this beautiful tray that's loaded down. These are pine cones actually from our own house. And so are all these hydrangeas. So I do love having a little bit of a garden. Even if you're a modern girl, you could still have a garden. You could still have some flowers. I like to be able to trim from those bushes and the trees and to be able to bring some of those natural elements into my own home without having to run to a florist. Not that I don't like going to a florist, because wow, do I ever love getting some fresh flowers and greens, but it is nice when you can clip from your own house. I think also keeping things like the modern black punch here, okay? That modern black punch with the book, bringing in the travertine and these little ceramic balls. You'll see those all over the house. They're in the breakfast room, they're in here, and they are absolutely amazing. Those elements really help keep the house feel modern and really interesting. It's got that sculptural feel, but it's also raw and approachable. The other thing I like in this room is adding in this wool rug has really given a sense of warmth and coziness, and it's just a little bit decadent feeling, but the result is just extraordinary, actually. It really is just so cozy and cool, and we just feel so comfortable lounging in here. We've got the nice big sofa. This was the one I got from West Elm, and honestly, I think it's about the same price as most of what you'll find on Amazon. So I will link it up and I'll leave the fabric that I've got. We've gotten so much all over this sofa, and I see one extra spill right now. I'm not sure if you guys can spot that, but I've got to get out the little green machine because it cleans everything. So you guys always ask, how do I have this much white with kids and a dog? It's not them who spills. I sat my coffee down because it's me who spills the coffee all over everything. So it's me who makes the mess. But I just love the overall feel in here. I did actually have the maple in here, but I put it out on the porch. And since we're about to hit the holidays, I didn't go buy another one. Although you could buy a little faux one. I liked the feeling of the real one. But I do think that overall, an olive tree in a room, adding the moss into the planter itself, it really just gives you just this incredible sense of space and serenity, and yet it can also still be really modern. We've got the TV going with just one of those little YouTube videos where they've got the fireplace. I love those. I think it's so good. And I would love to have had a fireplace in here. And I looked at actually putting one in, but then we would have sacrificed where we watch TV. So I just went with the Samsung frame TV, and it just looks like there's literally just a fireplace hanging on the wall, and then just anchored that with this beautiful sideboard, and just adding in some really simple little tea lights around the room will really add a lot of cozy factor. This is an inexpensive one that I found on Amazon, so you don't have to spend a lot of money for the seasonal items, and that's what I get really into. The other thing we did was like add the little basket of pine cones, and adding in the houndstooth in these brown shades, and the velvets and the boucles that you're seeing throughout the room. It really just gives this space this warm, cozy, yet luxurious, decadent, did I miss any of the words, enchanted feel? I think we've nailed it. It's all here, and it just, for me, it's just working. Let's head to the living room, because I know that's a room that you guys really love. This space is by far one of my absolute favorite spaces to spend time in. I wanted this to be a room where we could really entertain, and I also wanted to be dramatic and modern and have like that edginess that I really love. Of course, as a girl who loves to live in black, I wanted a room that I felt like I belonged in. So I've got gorgeous pillows that have these little geometric patterns in them, balanced out with a little bit of zebra. I've anchored the room with a huge rug. This one actually happens to be from Amazon. And it brings this coziness yet luxe feel into the room. We've also got the marble coffee table in here, and it is loaded with books. Again, I definitely see like a seasonal shift for myself. In the summertime, I pare things back quite a bit, but fall, winter hits, and I'm like, I just wanna sit on the sofa and read my books and get inspired. And so it is loaded with books, it's loaded with candles. I've got like this amazing pecan pie candle going. I'll leave a link for all of these, but it's just making the room smell like, like literally like everything that you think of for fall, it's throughout this house, and it is amazing. So what I love is that the sofas, they are more pared back, they are a little bit more modern. We've got that luxe base with the rug in here, and then the room is just soaring. It's got this beautiful height in here, and I still to this day love living in a black and white home. I just love it. But it doesn't mean that you have to only live in black and white. The coffee table is an example, the pillows, how you can add on those layers of neutrals and just create this insane feeling for every single season. So other changes for the room, I've brought in here, let me get you up close to the fireplace. Come here, come here. Yesterday I went through my garden and did a little bit of foraging, and so I've just put the little Apotec candle. This one is the Tonka Oak, I think is what it's called. I'll leave a link again for all of them. If you've gotten flowers anytime recently, you probably already have one of these sitting around your house, and I just put the candle in the middle and loaded it with items that I actually found outside in my own backyard. I mean, look at the insane finds. I'll add in a little clip out there so you can see that I literally just went out in the backyard and found what I could, and little sticks and things, and just add them into the hurricanes. I love that. It's free. Now, if you don't have a place to grab stuff like that, you can also buy little like batches of these off places like Etsy and also Amazon. I always felt like I needed to live like in a country home in order to be a forager, but this is just proof that you can just bring it in and just put it into a planter and stick it on the floor and it just looks awesome. I just love that. You've got more of the hydrangea, again, just right from our own land. And I think bringing in this candlelight and a lot of the really modern things in here, balanced with a piece of abstract art that I painted myself, and then this really cool modern lamp, all of these elements are creating this feeling of those words, those key buzzwords that I was really hoping for. Before I take you into the bedroom, let me show you these cabinets because I have had so much fun. I love to restyle my bookshelves. I do it quite often. And I'm one of those people that I just love moving things around and trying something new. So this has ended up being, I went back to a more pared back and upscaled, like upsized items. Yeah, upsized. I've got things like the Tom Ford book in here. I've got this insane set of books, the Dior Lindbergh New York Archives. Just died. It may be sold out. I'll try to link it up. But I've got things like the black marble bowl in here. I've got this beautiful vase from our house. This is actually one of the really affordable pieces. And you can see how even here, I've got rural retreats. I've got this wood sphere in here, also from our house, actually really affordable. Check it out, I'll leave the links. But I've got it mixed with like little pumpkins sitting in this bowl. And this is just how I really love to do things, a little snake embossed vase. Really cool stuff. Look at this the pumice stone little candle holder. I need to pull that out actually. But yeah, I just have like things that I love. And so I love this overall feeling of the modernness mixed with things that are really rustic and almost ancient. And I think when you upsize them and you include some books in here, it just feels amazing in here. And this is a little bit more pared back because at the moment the coffee table is quite a lot. So I try to play the balance and leave a little bit of white space. That just means like a little bit of empty space, somewhere where your eye can breathe. For me, I create a little bit of rest, with this big bookcase back here. All right, now let's actually head to the bedroom. I had so much fun for this season creating the design for this room. I added in a little touch of color, a little bit of kind of this caramelly kind of tone into the room. I brought it in originally through the artwork and just loved it. That's inexpensive artwork from Amazon, guys. It does not have to be expensive, but I think going for this larger scale and replication here, it really was effective in creating a room I cannot wait to come back to, and I love waking up to it. So starting with some of that big artwork, going with the oversized mirrors, adding in the ambient lighting. These are things that made this room just literally come alive. I've then layered up the bed with all of these absolutely stunning materials. Leather here, faux leather, velvets, a little bit more of the houndstooth. I've got it balanced out with this hotel style bedding and these beautiful, look at this beautiful set that I found on Amazon, beautiful velvet. These materials make the room feel so decadent. You just have this feeling of just like sinking in, and it's cozy and it is insane. I absolutely love it. One of the other things I added in was that beautiful wreath actually over the top of the bed. I thought, I just feel like it needs a little layer added on. So I found this little white berry wreath that it's normally a part of my holiday decor, but I brought it in for the fall and I love the result. I've loaded up the vases with these beautiful trimmings out of my own garden, and I think that they just bring this sense of nature in here as well. You kind of hearing the same kind of words over and over, luxe, nature, right? Like it's all just here and it feels elevated and sophisticated. It feels like I'm living in a dream, in a fantasy, but I've been able to do it on a budget, and I think that's pretty incredible. Let me show you a few things that I did over here for the fall season. So one of the things that I've been loving lately are these amazing nature videos where you're literally flying over these incredible views and vistas. This is actually in Norway. And so I've been enjoying these being on the TV because it really just adds that ambient feel into the room. I've amped up the fall feeling by adding pine cones. These, there's a mix of ones that I've got in the yard, and then these are the ones that I got in boxes from Amazon. See here where I've taken them and added them into these hurricanes again and just lit the beautiful candles. And overall the feeling is just this amazing like warmth. It feels, I'm using the same words over and over. I guess I just knew what I really wanted. And I think that's what you need to do, is know what you want in the feel that you really just long for. Little things like the little matches sitting around, it just gives you the feeling that you're just ready for the season. The bedroom isn't huge. It's definitely not tiny, but it isn't humongous. But by adding a chair into the corner, a bench at the foot of the bed, layering it up like this with mirrors that reflect back the light, and having so much lighting in this room is, to me, what makes this room really, really come together. So if you're thinking about your space, the little things that you do to your room really do make a very big impact. So if the room wasn't put together, like the overall design of the space, and then I just start adding the little things in, it won't fully come together. So things like taking the velvet curtains all the way up to the ceiling, adding a big light overhead, the mirrors, a beautiful upholstered bed. These things do matter. And playing the black against that creamy white color in the room, these are the things that to me just make this space, it makes the design come together so that when I bring the pine cones in and all those little things, it really just works and really creates the feeling that I was after. And so I do think that the overall design of the room, it makes it to where you also enjoy the space. We've got somewhere to sit together, somewhere to drink coffees on the weekends together, and I just love it. So let me take you into the bathroom, which is, actually it's got some really cool stuff going on. Come on, let me show you. All right, so I'm a little backlit, but it's so worth it because you can see the clawfoot tub in this space. I've debated switching it out, but I gotta tell you, either way, having a tub, a black tub, is like a fantasy item. And so when we redid this bathroom, that was one of the things that I spent the most money on in the room. And even though I do daydream about the really modern ones, I still love this tub. It's just absolutely incredible. Cast iron, holds its heat. It's insane. It's so luxurious feeling. And I've got this gorgeous vase sitting back here, and I sent Jack out to trim a limb. I think he nailed the brief. He brought back this huge limb, and it just looks incredible with the really tall vase that's sitting on the pedestal, and it is just insane. I'm using the curtains here to diffuse the window that's behind that is not my favorite. It's just kind of an old school, kind of like stained glass window that I don't even know if you guys can really see because it's a little backlit, but it's not really my favorite. So sometimes you can also just mask your issues with some curtains. You know, if you don't have the prettiest windows, put up some light diffusing curtains. It really does help. I've got things really cozy over here on the vanity area. I bought this one from RH, and it is quite traditional, but I still just feel like it works with the floor. And of course, I've thought about putting something more modern in here. I don't know that I actually will. I just haven't decided yet because I don't hate what I've got. But I do think that having a really nice vanity that's really upgraded with the marble, I mean, if you haven't seen the pictures from before of these rooms, this house was absolutely transformed. It's a completely different house. This was red wallpaper. Oh, here's Louie. Hi, baby. Hi. Did you come for your cookie? Did you come for for your cookie. Okay, let's get you a cookie. All right, so over here you can kind of see, I've got the TV here, and Louis has his treats sitting up here in this little marble bowl. So we have the little, I think that having those little everyday moments is so important to really living and enjoying in your home. Living and enjoying living in your home. Yes, I said that right. So for me, having a TV in the bathroom, I love it. I love it. We've got some color combos going on here at the moment. Wow, Norway can be quite green, can't it? It's amazing. But again, I brought in moss into that gorgeous bowl here. Let's see if I can tip it here. I've got the moss here. You can kind of see where the inspiration of Norway, that is what I wanted to embody in the house, was that feeling of grand mountain, windy roads, the sense and the scent and the sense of it. So I've kept it modern with some of these pieces that just kind of anchor the room. I actually got a room in here to put a dresser in here. Originally, there was a vanity over here, and instead I took it out and put storage in and put a double vanity over on the other side. To this day, I still feel like this bathroom works better for me than the design before. This room is a little bit crazy because I have room for a concrete dining table to be in the center of my bathroom. So they just built these bathrooms in our neighborhood are huge. So I know most people probably don't have room for a dining table, but I did. And so I use it as an excuse to display more greenery and really bring in that feeling of the forest. Going with a concrete table and a zebra rug in here just gives me that combination of punch and then something really raw. Again, a marble bowl. Oh my God, that was so heavy. That was a splurge from RH, but I've got it loaded. Oh, with the moss and having the tray here with the pine cones that are actually from my yard. Then that charcoal rouge, that candle, oh my gosh, it's just amazing. I feel like I'm being pampered every single day in here. It does make travel a little bit hard when you make your home so amazing. But I did so much of this on a budget. So I think you can do this on a budget. I know I have, and I have had an absolute blast. Let me go hunt down my coffee though for just a second, because I'm thinking we need to have a final catch up in front of that fireplace. Come on. All right, I found my coffee and we are back where we started. I am so excited to spend a new season in this room. I think what you're gonna see is that a lot of these things are going to stay for the holidays. The stone spheres and the wood candles, and this is that wood smoke one from IKEA going in here as well. And I really like this feeling of like enchanted forest going over a really modern overlay. So holidays are coming. I'm gonna keep most of this as it is, and then I'm going to overlay the holidays on top of it. So it's gonna be so awesome. I cannot wait. So make sure you hit subscribe, and that way you don't miss out when the upcoming videos are coming out, because we're gonna share with you more detail about how we're doing these things, and I wanna be able to share all of that with you. We just love having you guys over. Thank you so much for stopping in. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, a wonderful month, a wonderful year, as my grandmother always said. I love that, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye.